What separates a man who's simply attracted to you from one who's truly in love? Today, we're revealing 6 specific behaviors that men display only when they're genuinely, deeply in love. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. If this video helps you understand the men in your life better, show your support by hitting like, leaving a comment, sharing this video, and supporting us with super thanks. These aren't obvious gestures, like flowers or saying I love you. These are subtle, unconscious actions that reveal what's really happening in a man's heart when he's found the one. Let's dive in. Sign number 1. He becomes genuinely interested in your world. When a man is truly in love, something remarkable happens. He doesn't just want to spend time with you, he wants to understand your entire universe. This goes far beyond surface-level conversations about your day or your hobbies. We're talking about a deep, genuine curiosity about everything that makes you who you are. He starts asking questions about your childhood, not because he's making small talk, but because he genuinely wants to understand the experiences that shaped you. He remembers the names of your co-workers, asks follow-up questions about that difficult situation with your sister, and shows real interest in your dreams and aspirations, even if they have nothing to do with him. This behavior is rooted in something psychologists call empathetic engagement. When a man is truly in love, his brain actually rewires itself to prioritize your emotional well-being. He becomes invested in your happiness, not because he wants something from you, but because your joy has become intrinsically linked to his own sense of fulfillment. You'll notice he remembers small details about conversations you had weeks ago. He brings up things that are important to you without being prompted. He asks about your goals and actually listens to your answers, offering support and encouragement rather than trying to fix everything or make it about himself. This is different from the man who's simply attracted to you or enjoys your company. That man might listen politely, but he's not truly absorbing and integrating your experiences into his own worldview. When a man is in love, your world becomes his world, and he approaches it with the same care and attention he would give to his own life. Sign number 2. He starts planning a future that includes you. Men who are truly in love don't just live in the present moment with you. They start automatically including you in their future plans. This isn't about grand romantic gestures or dramatic declarations. Instead, it's about the natural, almost unconscious way he begins to weave you into the fabric of his life going forward. You'll hear it in his language. Instead of saying, I'm thinking about taking a vacation next summer, he says, we should plan a trip next summer. Instead of, I need to figure out what I'm doing for the holidays, it becomes, what do you think we should do for the holidays? This shift happens naturally and often without him even realizing it. But it goes deeper than just language. A man in love starts making decisions with you in mind. He considers how his choices will affect you, not out of obligation, but because you've become an integral part of his decision-making process. He might turn down a job opportunity that would require too much travel because he wants to be present in your relationship. He starts saving money not just for his goals, but for shared experiences and a potential future together. This future-focused thinking is a clear indicator that he's moved beyond temporary attraction or even strong affection. When a man can envision his life with you in it long-term, and when that vision brings him excitement rather than anxiety, it's a powerful sign that his feelings have evolved into genuine love. Research in relationship psychology shows that people who are truly committed to their partners naturally begin to think in terms of we rather than I. This cognitive shift is one of the strongest predictors of relationship success and longevity. Sign number 3. He becomes protective without being possessive. There's a crucial distinction here that many people miss. When a man is truly in love, he develops a natural protective instinct toward you. This isn't about jealousy, control, or possessiveness. Instead, it's a genuine concern for your safety, well-being, and happiness that comes from a place of love rather than fear or insecurity. He might walk on the side of the street closest to traffic without making a big deal about it. He checks in when you're traveling, not because he doesn't trust you, but because he cares about your safety. He pays attention to situations that might make you uncomfortable and naturally positions himself to help, whether that's dealing with an aggressive person at a bar or simply offering his jacket when you're cold. This protective behavior extends to your emotional well-being too. He becomes sensitive to people or situations that cause you stress or pain. He might not like your friend, who always puts you down, not because he's trying to control your friendships, but because he genuinely hurts when he sees you hurt. The key difference between love-based protection and possessive behavior is respect for your autonomy. A man who's truly in love wants to protect you, but he never tries to control you or limit your freedom. He doesn't get upset when you go out with friends or pursue your own interests. Instead, he supports your independence while making it clear that he's there if you need him. This protective instinct is actually biologically rooted. When men are in love, their testosterone levels can actually decrease while their bonding hormones increase. This hormonal shift naturally makes them more nurturing and protective rather than aggressive or competitive. Sign number 4. He opens up about his vulnerabilities and past. Perhaps one of the most telling signs that a man is truly in love is when he begins to share parts of himself that he's never shared with anyone else, or only with very few people. Men are often socialized to hide their vulnerabilities, to appear strong and unshakable at all times. When a man is in love, those walls begin to come down. He starts telling you about his fears, his insecurities, his past mistakes, and the experiences that shaped him. This might happen gradually over time, or it might come in moments of deep intimacy and connection. He shares the stories he's embarrassed about, the dreams he's afraid to pursue, and the parts of his personality he usually keeps hidden. This vulnerability is incredibly significant because it represents trust at its deepest level. He's not just trusting you with his body or his time. He's trusting you with his emotional core, with the parts of himself that could be hurt if not handled with care. You'll notice that these conversations often happen during quiet, intimate moments. Maybe you're lying in bed talking before sleep, or taking a long walk together, or sharing a meal without distractions. He might tell you about his relationship with his parents, his biggest regrets, his health concerns, or his professional fears. This emotional nakedness is something that many men find extremely difficult, which is why it's such a powerful indicator of true love. When a man feels safe enough with you to be completely himself, including his flawed and vulnerable self, it means he sees you as his emotional safe harbor. Research shows that emotional intimacy is often more challenging for men than physical intimacy, making this willingness to be vulnerable one of the strongest signs of genuine love and commitment. Sign number 5. He naturally prioritizes your needs. Alongside his own, when a man is truly in love, something fundamental shifts in how he approaches decision-making and daily life. Your needs don't become more important than his own, but they become equally important. This creates a natural balance where he's constantly considering both of your well-being in his choices and actions. This shows up in both big and small ways. Maybe he's always been a night owl, but he starts coming to bed earlier because he knows you sleep better when he's there. Perhaps he's never been interested in certain activities, but he finds himself genuinely enjoying them because he loves seeing you happy. He might change his weekend plans without resentment when you need support, or he naturally checks with you before making commitments that affect your time together. The important thing to note is that this doesn't feel like sacrifice to him. When a man is truly in love, Making you happy makes him happy. Your joy becomes a source of his joy, so considering your needs feels natural rather than burdensome. He also starts to notice and respond to your needs without being asked. He brings you coffee in the morning because he knows you need it to function. He suggests ordering from your favorite restaurant when you've had a stressful day. He remembers that you're nervous about an important meeting and checks in to see how it went. This behavior stems from what researchers call relationship-focused attention. When someone is genuinely in love, their brain becomes naturally attuned to their partner's emotional and physical states. They start to pick up on subtle cues and respond accordingly, not out of obligation, but out of genuine care and connection. Sign number 6. He becomes his best self, while staying true to who he is. The final sign that a man is truly in love is, perhaps the most beautiful one. He doesn't change who he is for you, but he becomes inspired to be the best version of himself because of you. Love acts as a catalyst for personal growth, motivating him to work on his flaws, pursue his goals, and develop his potential. You might notice that he starts taking better care of his health, not because you nagged him about it, but because he wants to be around for a long time with you. He might pursue opportunities for career advancement, return to school, or develop new skills because your faith in him has rekindled his belief in his own potential. He becomes more patient, more understanding, more generous, and more emotionally mature. This isn't because he's pretending to be someone else to keep you interested. Instead, love has awakened his desire to grow and evolve as a person. At the same time, he maintains his core identity, his interests, his friendships, and his values. He doesn't lose himself in the relationship, he finds himself through it. This is crucial because healthy love enhances who we are rather than erasing who we are. You'll see him working on personal issues that have held him back, not because you demanded it, but because he wants to be worthy of the love you've given him. He might go to therapy, have difficult conversations with family members, or break bad habits that have been part of his life for years. This self-improvement comes from a place of inspiration rather than desperation. He's not trying to fix himself to avoid losing you. He's motivated to grow because love has shown him what's possible when he operates at his highest level. These 6 signs reveal how men behave when they're genuinely in love. They become more interested in understanding you, invested in a shared future, naturally protective, vulnerable, considerate, and inspired to grow. Remember, love develops differently in every relationship, so look for patterns rather than expecting all signs at once. What do you think about these signs? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this helped you understand love better, hit that like button and subscribe for more relationship insights. Don't forget to share this video with friends and support our channel with super thanks if you found this valuable. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll continue exploring the psychology of relationships.